game's easy for Kevin. It just is. I mean, he's. I don't think there's ever been anybody as skilled at his size in the history of the league. So he just does whatever he wants. I felt like he could have been 24 for 25 if he wanted, but he was distributing the ball and trying to get everybody involved, and he was brilliant.
All right, Skip, I've heard you say it over and over again that KD is the best player on the planet. Do you still believe that?
So I was objective about LeBron James as we opened this show, and now I'm going to be objective about my guy, Kevin Durant. Steve Kerr just says he does whatever he wants, and mostly that's true. But this year's different. He does whatever he wants when he feels like doing that.
Okay,
now we're cooking.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Been waiting for you to say this.
Last night, he decided, you know what? I think I'm going to do this. Because they were in danger of losing a game at Memphis that Oklahoma City had lost, what was it, 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Memphis is still very dangerous, especially at home. And Golden State was in a little bit of trouble. It was a little I watched the whole game. And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, sort of out of the blue, Kevin Durant said, no, not tonight. I got this. 12 out of 13 shots. So what I'm seeing this year from Kevin Durant is he's occasionally motivated, and a lot of times he's just not. And I look back to the start of this year. I don't know if you remember this because it seems like 2 years ago. But for the first month of this season, he was on an MVP tear.
Yes.
First month of the season, here's some of the point totals. 51, 49, 44, 41. In the first month of the season, those are 4 games that he had.
Right.
Will that work?
That worked.
If you stay on that pace, are we even talking about Harden and Greek Freak? I don't think so. This would have been the guy, right?
Okay.
Because he is the most skilled at his height and length that we have ever seen.
Right.
So we saw it on full display. But right in the middle of that tear came November 12th. Clippers. Draymond repeatedly called him the B word and said, we don't need you. And something started to teeter there in Kevin's psyche where he began to disengage a lot of nights. So from this month forward, by the way, over this year, they've had the Golden State Warriors, they've had 6 home losses by 20+. And this last month, they've had 2 30+ home court losses. It's because Kevin Durant, they're going to go as he goes. And some nights, he just doesn't seem to engage.
Right.
Does he have 1 foot out the door? Highly possible. I'm going to say it's probable he's got 1 foot out the door. So what's happening is his assists are career high. So some nights he just kind of does a Kobe when Kobe powder. You know, like he'll just go out and just pass the ball. And he's really good at passing the ball. And he'll just play unselfishly. As they say, we share the ball, right? So he's sharing it like crazy. And his shot making is his percentage on just shots, 51.6%. That's the second best of his career. So he's picking his spots to take the optimal shot. And when he picks his spots and makes that shot, it looks really good. But there's no gunner to him. There's no get out of my way, I got this to him. He's just doing it completely in the flow. And it almost feels to me like going through the motions. So on any given night, like last night, you say, wow. But then what shocked me about last night was at halftime, he was interviewed. If we could hear this was a shocker to me. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't know this is the way he calculated on the fly. But he was asked about whatever he was at halftime.
Are you aware that you're having a nearly perfect evening?
Yeah, I count all my shots, makes and misses. So I felt good going in, start the game, made my first 3 shots, and I got a couple layups that got me going.
He is now so good. He keeps the running tab on his shots. He knows I'm X of X.
Yeah.
I don't know players. No, they don't.
Oh, Skip, I knew. I got 5 catches. I got 94 yards.
Okay, but that's just, you'd have like 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to remember 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah.
But when you get up to 12 out of 13 in the flow of a basketball game where you're just running and shooting and running and shooting, you're going to lose track. I don't think Michael Jordan kept count. I never heard him say, I got it running over my head.
He couldn't be as efficient.
Okay, but Kevin is so incredibly efficient that he's now in the mode of he's graduated into, I'm going to keep a running total for the night.
Like somebody else I know. You remember LeBron told you? So, you know, when he diagrammed the play, he said,
but he's got the photographic memory of how the play broke. But I never heard LeBron say, oh, I knew I was only 8 of 27.
Because if he did that, you're going to say Michael Jordan never kept a tally of how many shots he made and missed during the course of the game. That's why he won't tell you. That's why he won't tell you.
But my point on Kevin is he's like above the game now. He's got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And he is the most efficient scorer we've ever seen. But when he picks his spot, and again, maybe when the playoffs go, he'll just say, I'm going to pick every spot from here forward. And if he does that, it is game over for the rest of the NBA.
I appreciate your honesty. I know how hard that must have been.
I've said it all year.
No, you didn't say it all year.
Yeah.
You keep trying to throw it up in my face. But if Steve Kerr, if you don't mind me asking, what did Kevin Durant show you last night that he hadn't shown you or you didn't know about him since he's been in the NBA?
You said this before.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, have you not seen games like this from LeBron? LeBron got 13 games in which he shot 80% from the floor or better. Kevin Durant has 8. Now, LeBron James is having a down year, Jenny.
Yeah.
Do you know he's averaging more?
LeBron's played like 5 times the minutes Kevin.
Whoa, Skip. Just a second. I didn't interrupt you.
Okay.
I didn't interrupt you. I'm the kid that waited my turn. You know what I'm saying, Jenny? I'm the kid that waited my turn, and here's my turn to go to the water fountain and Skip trying to push me.
Speaking of waiting turns.
And then Skip pushed me out the way.
I wish I had a nickel for every word more than mine that you've spoken on this show, and I would be rich and retired.
You know what I'm saying? I waited my turn. That's all I'm doing. I just want an opportunity to Skip. LeBron James is having a terrible year. He's in decline, and everybody's questioning, has he hit the wall? But he's averaging more points, more rebounds, more assists than Kevin Durant, who's historically might be the most skilled player at his size in NBA history. And
LeBron, he is.
Okay, he's the most skilled player at his size in NBA history. Okay. Nobody could put the ball on the floor at his size. He's a 50, 40, 90 guy. 50% from the field, can shoot 40% from the three-point line, drop 90% from the free throw line.
He's not that right now.
No,
he
but
has been.
He's done that. Yeah, he's capable of that. He's shooting 51%, which is is a career high, Skip?
Yes. But his three-point is now fallen all the way to 35%, which is the third worst of his career. So he's not 50, 40.
So let me get this straight. He's shooting a career high at 51%, 51.6. LeBron James has had career highs of 56.7, 56.5. But I ain't talking about
Kevin Durant is a distance jump shooter. Thank you.
My guy puts
your guy is not a shooter. I know.
You know my guy is shooting 33% from the three-point line for a guy that can't shoot at all. Kevin Durant, the most skilled guy, can put the ball in the basket, is shooting 35.
Your guys, the 33 is not good. Isn't that like
is 35 good?
Fourth worst. I just said it's the third worst of his career. Right?
But my guy can't shoot.
But I just told you his heart is not in it. He didn't leave his heart in San Francisco. I think it never.
I don't know where his heart. I don't know where his heart is. I don't know where his heart is. That's not for me to say.
Well,
I'm just trying to say. But hold on, Steve Kerr. Why did I hear him say this the other night, Skip? You know, 2 nights ago, Kevin Durant scored 14 points.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a peep out of Steve Kerr. Okay, 3 of the last 5 games, Kevin Durant's been under 20 points.
What have I just told you?
I didn't hear a peep.
I told you he's disengaged most nights. He picks his spots.
And Steve Kerr is picking his spots when he realized, oh, Kevin Durant is so skilled, so talented.
Well, he got asked about him, and he just sort of shrugged and said, well, it was like, I told you.
You know why he gets to say this about Kevin Durant? Because we take it for granted that LeBron does this all the time. All the time he does this, Skip. Sometimes he wants to facilitate, like the other night when he had 14 dimes. Sometimes he wants to have. You remember that game last year against Minnesota? 17 assists with no turnovers, Skip. If he wants to have those type of games. You said it yourself. Okay, LeBron James could have averaged a triple-double.
There's one huge difference operating here.
What is it?
Draymond Green called LeBron James the B word during a finals game and got himself suspended and lost his team the finals because of it as LeBron and Kyrie came from 3-1 down.
Yeah.
Well, Draymond was on the other team.
Yeah.
Right now, Draymond is still on Kevin's team.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's uneasy at best. There was a play last night that surprised me a little bit. Draymond threw a full-court pass to Kevin for an easy. I think he dunked it at the end.
Who did?
Okay, so it was like, was that a peacemaking slide?
I know a guy.
It was the full court. He heaved it. Of course, Draymond said, I knew my turnovers were low, so I could try this. Right?
Everyone's keeping track.
Yep. Okay. Well, they are. They become stat central, haven't they?
They really have.
Yeah.
Didn't you see 4 years of that? There's a guy in Cleveland. Kevin Love used to do that at least twice a night.
Okay.
And we talking about it right now.
Okay, but Kevin Love didn't call LeBron the B word, right?
No.
As a teammate. That's the one who said, we don't need you throwing the full court pass.
And LeBron knew he'd have got suspended if he'd have put hands on Draymond. So he said, you know what I'm going to do?
I think he knew if he put hands on, he might lose that fight.
No, don't do that, Skip. Don't do that. So you know what LeBron said? I ain't going to put these hands on you, but I'm going to put these feet in you. And guess what? Down 3-1.
And pretty soon you're going to be my client.
We are the champion. Right? No, he Rich Paul client. LeBron is also a client
LeBron
of
is he
Don't
oversees.
Do that,
he oversees.
No. Stop it.
It's like a board member.
Look.
Now LeBron can say, Draymond works for me, right?
Skip, we know.
Something like
Here's the thing. We know what KD is. He's universal regard. Okay, I don't believe LeBron James is thought of in the circles as he once was, as universally regarded. I still believe he's in the top 2 or 3. Whether you like James Harden, okay, fine, whatever. So Kevin Durant is a top 2, top 3 basketball player. That's nothing new.
Okay, but the point of this is when Kevin decides, then he's the best player on the planet.
No, he's not.
When he does that, you just say, well, nobody can do that.
Did you see what LeBron James did in the playoffs last year? And he didn't do it for one game.
We're talking about now. We're talking about today, tomorrow, tonight, whatever.
The man just dropped 23 and 14. He's averaging 27, 8, and 8. Which is, think about this now. Kevin Durant is having an unbelievable season, but it's still not better than LeBron's. And LeBron's in decline.
Kevin Durant is not having an unbelievable season.
Yes, he is.
He had a hot start until the B word happened.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Can you tell me what Kevin Durant was doing when Steph Curry missed those 14 games and he went 7-7 in those games? Can you tell the people at home? I need Steve Kerr. Was he that good? Was he the most skilled at that size then?
He had been told by a key player on the team, we don't need you.
Okay.
So you know what he was doing? Like, okay, you don't? Okay, let's see.
By acting like that, he proving Draymond right.
I've seen some of the best Golden State games on nights Kevin Durant isn't playing where they say, okay, we'll show you.
So what?
Because they're preparing for next year without him.
So how does a team play so well without the best player in the NBA? How do they do that? That's never happened. Jordan, they didn't do that when Jordan wasn't there. They didn't do that. Oh, Scottie Pippen did. Scottie Pippen was a Hugh Hollins blown call away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Did you know that, Skip? They lost 2 fewer games, minus Michael Jordan. Did you know that? The end of the three-peat, the first three-peat, Jenny? They won 57 games that year and won the title.
Did you see what
Michael Jordan leave, and they win 55 games.
Did you see what happened to Scottie Pippen when he left Chicago and went to Houston and then to Portland? Go check those.
Did he make the All-Star team?
Go see what happened.
Did he make any All-Star team?
Go see what happened.
Did he make any All-Star team?
He was a disaster.
Oh, yeah. I remember but when he was with the Bulls, did you know he won his only MVP in the All-Star game? Oh, Scottie Pippen. Yes. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Kevin Durant. We know what Kevin Durant is. Kevin Durant did not show anyone anything last night that you didn't already know about Kevin Durant. If you didn't think he could score the basketball, could Kevin Durant probably average 8, 9 assists? Sure he could. That's not his expertise. Could Kevin Durant probably get you 8, 9 rebounds a game? Sure he could.
What he showed you last night was, oh, yeah.